Good evening and welcome to the February 14th, 2022 meeting of the Auburn Board of Selectmen. Meeting order at 6:33. Under public comments, we have none. Public hearings and presentations, we have none. Communications, we have none. Select Board general items, we have a common vicular license for Rocket Nutrition at 850 Southbridge Street. Enclosed in your packets are all the information. Is there an applicant for or before board tonight? Don't believe they're required to be on here. But do board members have any questions or comments with regard to the application? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the license for Rocket Nutrition, provided that all applicable requirements of the state and town and its departments, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said license is subject to all conditions placed upon it. Failure to comply with any and all conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void with the conditions of the DCGB placed on said license.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded by a roll call vote. Mrs. Ripley?
Yes.
Mr. Wren?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. It's unanimous. 5B, we have a seasonal open air license on town property for the Girl Scout Cookie Drive. This is the drive-through at the public library. Done this for the last couple of years. Saw that now that the applicant jumped on. So, Christina, I'll turn it over to you if you want to give a little background for the board.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. My name is Christina Nashhold, and I am a troop leader of a Girl Scout troop here in Auburn, Troop 64778 of a junior troop. But I'm here on behalf of not only my own troop, but of our service unit, which it's called the French Quarter Service Unit, that is for the towns of Oxford, Dudley, and Auburn, so Oxford, Webster, and Auburn. And so we're looking to once again do our Girl Scout cookie drive-through at the Auburn Public Library. We've had great success with it over the last couple of years. This will technically be the third year we're running it. We didn't run it last year, but we've run it 2 years prior to that. And we're not looking to change anything that we've done in the past. We're looking for the same exact setup, which is what the map that's been submitted to you. And it provides an opportunity for the troops in our area to sell those Girl Scout cookies, which helps them raise money to do the things to meet their goals in their own troops, as well as help us raise money for our service unit and for the Girl Scouts in general to be able to support camps and programs abroad. So we're looking to do exactly the same thing we did again, and for permission to do that once again at the library.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Do board members have any questions or comments? Seeing none. Anything from town administration? No.
Sorry, no, all set. Thank you. I see Library Director Jean Collins is here, so she may want to say something.
Well, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew I fully supported this. I think it's great that the Girl Scouts has such a good presence. We'll be putting up a notice on our digital sign too, so when there's activity in the parking lots, people will know what it is. So we've got that all programmed to deploy when, the day of, and actually a couple of days before. So
thank you.
And if you have any pamphlets, you can just get in touch with me like we did before.
Thank you, Dr. Collins. I do want to make a note that we did ask for two weekends, a weekend in this week coming February weekend, and then also in March. However, we were just informed by Girl Scout Council that there's a cookie shortage. So we may only need one. We were just told that we were by the Worcester Council that we picked up our last batch of cookies. And New England's, or this area, is not getting any more. So what troops have is what they have to sell. And so we may not be utilizing that second weekend that we asked for in March. And I will communicate with Dr. Collins if we don't intend to use that. But this weekend, we plan on doing that. And hopefully we'll sell out of cookies. So thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. This is the first year that you're holding it that I won't be in Amherst for the drive, so I'll actually be able to go and buy cookies from you.
Excellent.
Do board members, is there a motion?
Yep, I'll make the motion to approve the license for the Girl Scout Cookie Drive-Through Pop-Up Event, provided that all applicable requirements of the state and town and its requirements, boards, and commissions have been fulfilled. Said license is subject to all the conditions stated upon it, and failure to comply with any and all those conditions shall invalidate the license and render it null and void, and with the conditions of the DCG to be placed upon said license.
A
Is there a
second.
By roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. It's unanimous. Is there a motion with regards to the fee?
I'll make a motion to waive the licensing fee.
Second.
By roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Take care.
Good luck, and thanks for that insider information. I'll be getting my
Thank
cookies.
you. Get your cookies while you can. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving on 5C, we have a vote to open the May 3rd, 2022 annual town meeting warrant. I'll turn it over to the town manager.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it's that time, getting ready for annual town meeting. And we're asking the board to open the warrant tonight and leave it open for 3 weeks. So we would close it on March 7th.
Any questions or comments from board members?
Nope.
That is their motion.
I'll make a motion to open the May 3rd, 2022 annual town meeting warrant.
I'll second.
By roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Next is a vote to close the May 3rd, 2022 annual town meeting warrant on Monday, March 7th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
I'll make a motion to close the town warrant on Monday, March 7th at 7 p.m.
Second.
All right, by roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Under gift acceptances, we have $50 to the fire rescue department.
Motion to accept with gratitude.
The firefighters associations. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
By roll call vote, Mr. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. We also have $172 to the animal control, and the amount of $50 from Kathleen Sabina of Auburn, $5 from Betty Ann Carpenter of Auburn, and $117 from Robert and Deborah Roy of Auburn.
I'll make a motion to accept with gratitude.
Second.
Oh, I almost said all those in favor. It needs to be roll call. By roll call vote, Mr. Ruffey,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Wren, and the
Yes.
chair votes yes. Proclamations and recognitions. We have a request from Assistant Scoutmaster of Troop 53 for Eagle Scout Proclamation Ceremony on March 27th. Then enclosed in your packet is the letter. Turn it over to the town manager if there's anything you want to add.
Excuse me one second, I'm just looking here. No, I think I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so it is in line with our proclamation policy. Is there I don't think there's a representative on tonight. So with that, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the proclamation for Harrison Danog in recognition of his achievement.
I'll second.
By roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffey,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes.
No small feat right there.
Under town manager items, we have vote to authorize the town manager to accept and expend a grant up to $30,000 from the state's hazard mitigation grant program to update the town's hazard mitigation plan. Turn it over to the town manager.
Thank you. Through the chair, this is a plan that has to be updated every 5 years. The plan was done in September of 2018. It does not expire until September of 2023, so it's about a year and a half out. But the state has recommended that we apply for funding now because it does take time to get the plan done. We did apply for a grant. There was a pilot grant program that we applied for, and we found out last, I believe, Tuesday that we did not get the grant. But the state said that there was another grant process, and if we could get an application into them by today, it would go into the next round of consideration under the GP program, which is Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. It's it's funded by FEMA, and it's going to go to FEMA for consideration. So it's a $30,000 total project cost. The grant would actually be $22,700 with a $7,500 in-kind match, which means just our employee hours. So it was no problem coming up with $7,500 worth of hours because there's so many employees that are going to be involved in this over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. So we easily made the grant. We don't have to put in any other cash for it. So hopefully we get consideration for it, but that's what it's for. It's to update the hazard mitigation plan. And then I'm presuming if we get it, that we would contract with CMRPC, which is who we contracted with last time, and they provide us all the technical support for getting it done.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from board members? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the town manager to accept and expend a grant of up to $30,000 from the state's hazard mitigation grant program to update the town's hazard mitigation plan.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Mrs. Ruffey?
Yes.
Mr. Wren?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We also have a notice on the retirement of Police Chief Andy Salukas, the appointment of Lieutenant Todd Lemon to Provisional Chief of Police. I know board members already know of the change, but wanted to make the announcement public, so I'll hand it over to the town manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, as I notified the board a couple of weeks ago, Police Chief Andrew Salukas retired effective January 31st. So we want to just publicly thank him for his many years of service. He was chief for a total of 17 years, and we thank him for everything he's done. And also want to take this opportunity to congratulate Lieutenant Todd Lemon, who has been appointed provisional chief. And I just want to explain what that means. So the town of Auburn is in civil service for our police department. So what that means is every appointment has to go through the civil service process. So provisional appointments can be made by the town manager. Under our charter, the Board of Selectmen would confirm a appointment to police chief when that appointment is permanent. A provisional is similar to an acting, but under civil service lingo, it's a provisional, meaning he has the full authority of a chief. He is the chief until such time that we complete the civil service process. So as I mentioned to the board, and so the public knows, that process is that we will be holding an assessment center, which means that through the civil service department at the state, the names of those who want, well, first of all, the assessment center gets posted. Those who are eligible under civil service to participate in the assessment center sign up and participate in it when that is held on a date likely in mid-April. We've hired a vendor who conducts the assessment center. And then it's a series of exercises and evaluations. And then third-party evaluators are brought in to score the candidates. The scores are then sent directly to the civil service. The town does not see the scores. What we would see would be the list of the top 3 who get through the assessment center. And from the top 3, or the top, we would see the list of rankings. Then a future chief vote to confirm or deny the appointment. So that's what a provisional chief is. Likewise, we have a provisional lieutenant. So we're happy to say that provisional Chief Lemon, and we can just call him Chief Lemon from this point forward, even though it's provisional. For practical purposes, just say Chief Lemon. So right now, Chief Lemon under civil service, he makes provisional appointments as well. So he has made an appointment we have to fill some positions with him moving up. We have some openings. So Chief Lemon appointed Sergeant Scott Mills to provisional lieutenant. So he is now also, we can refer to him as Lieutenant Mills. And there will be a couple of provisional sergeants appointed tomorrow morning by the chief, sworn in by the chief. Actually, one would not be provisional because this was done as part of an assessment center and scores that were based on prior tests. So that will be sworn in tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of changes at the police department as we start to fill positions that are vacant, whether they're vacant through provisional or they're vacant through permanent retirements or moving on to different positions. So that's how the process works. I've been asked a number of times, why can't we just go ahead and appoint a chief permanently? And that is the reason. We're in civil service. We have to follow the civil service process. But we're thrilled to have Chief Lemon in the provisional role. And, in a couple of weeks, he's just doing a great job. And we're all there to support him.
All right, great. Thank you. Do board members have anything that they want to add?
Yeah, I just want to publicly thank Chief Seleucus for his years of service to the town. We were really blessed to have such a great leader, and glad to have been able to work with him for the short period that I did. And I know Todd Lemon as well. I'm not going to give you guys the story now, but he helped me get into my law career. I can tell you that offline anytime you want to know it. And I know we'll be in great hands with Chief Lemon as well. So that's all I got.
Thanks. Yeah, I also just want to add that it's, I wish we could have pulled in former Chief Seleucus into one of our meetings and publicly announced or embarrassed him by thanking him for his years. I was able to give him a call and he'll have to just settle for that. But he's been great to work with over the last few years and will absolutely be missed. Like I said, when we lost, I say lost because he left, moved on to Worcester. When we lost Bill Coyle, it's like losing a chunk of Auburn, and it's definitely the same way with Chief Seleucus. But Officer Lemon, or Lieutenant Lemon, now Chief Lemon, is also a great addition, great movement up, and Auburn's in good hands. So with that, we also have a veterans agent update. I'll turn it again over to the town manager.
Yeah, thank you. So going from good news to, mixed news about the chief retiring, but good news that we have a great provisional chief in place, to just very sad news. So just so the public is aware, our veterans agent, Lincoln Barber, passed away unexpectedly on Friday, February 4th. So first and foremost, we just want to thank give our thoughts and prayers to the family. And as I had explained to his wife, just want to thank the family for giving him to us for the last 3 years to be our veterans agent. He did a great job. He was a great guy. He handled everything very well. He kept all the applications processed, and he was a good person representing the town. He knew what he was doing, and it is a huge loss for us. So we want to thank him posthumously for his service to Auburn. And for veterans that are wondering, how are they going to be helped? And this question has come up from members of the board. So in the interim, the town of Auburn is one of 4 communities in the Veterans District. It's the Southern Worcester County Central Mass Veterans District. We're one of 4 towns. We have a veterans director who is out of Southbridge, and the veterans director will be covering Auburn. until we're able to hire a new veterans agent for the town, which is a part-time position here in Auburn. The Veterans District Director is a full-time position. So his name is Keith Roberts, and he is happy to help any veteran in Auburn that's looking for help. We are forwarding all emails and calls that we receive to the Veterans Office to Mr. Roberts in the interim. And I did in this memo put this phone number in should any veterans or veteran spouses or veterans beneficiary right now of Chapter 115 benefits have any questions. They can call Mr. Roberts at 508-764-5436. He is located in Southbridge at the community center at 153 Chestnut Street, and he has the ability to go in remotely and check on people's applications. And we can't thank him enough for stepping in and helping us. It's huge to have someone of his experience and ability to be able to step in when we need it. We will be advertising for a new veterans agent shortly. And it is a part-time position. We're in the process of updating that job description right now. And if you don't mind, I just wanted to ask if Ed had anything to say, because he worked very closely with Lincoln as well, as did everyone in his office.
Thank you, Julie, and good evening to the members of the board. It truly is with a heavy heart that I say we are going to miss Lincoln. He was a member of our family. And he was a great guy, a gentleman, and a true advocate for the veterans of our community. He's going to be tough to replace. But you know, Town Hall was sad when we learned the news of Lincoln. He was just a jolly, good old fella who relished life, who was willing to help people. And you don't see too many Lincolns of the world out there. So we lost a good one, but we must move on. And I'm glad you offered that information, Julie. That's going to be helpful to those individuals who are currently receiving a benefit. And we don't want to see any disruption. So hopefully it will be seamless. But I just want to pass our condolences on to the family of Lincoln. As I understand it, there'll be services held at a later date in memory of Lincoln. So we'll let the board members know if they have any interest in attending or passing their condolences along.
Great, thank you, Ed. So again, if anyone does call our main office, 508-832-7720. We're happy to, we'll take a message, we'll take the call, and we will pass it along to Mr. Keith Roberts. Likewise, any emails going to Lincoln's account are now automatically being forwarded to my account. So I'm checking them every day and also forwarding them. So there's multiple ways to get in touch with Mr. Roberts and make sure that we get our veterans the assistance that they need. Thank you.
Thank you both. I only met Lincoln Roberts once. It was right after I was first elected, but you could tell he was really dedicated to helping veterans, and appreciate that and all the work that he did, and condolences to his family as well. All right. Under tabled items, we have none. And select board member items, we don't have anything. Under minutes, we have the minutes from November 29th of 2021. Are there any corrections? All right, seeing none, I'll accept them as read. Before we close, is there anything from any board members or town administration? All right, sorry, Julie, go ahead.
No, that's right. I was just going to say, we are meeting this week with our Board of Health to review all our COVID data. But at this point, we anticipate our buildings will be reopened on Tuesday. That was the initial plan. I don't think we're going to have to extend that. We are talking about potentially extending the mask wearing for a little bit. We need to see the numbers. We want to get through school vacation week. We want to make sure that we're not jeopardizing either our residents or our employees during school vacation week. So we may keep some mask mandates in place at least through school vacation week and then revisit the numbers. But all those decisions will be made this week. But as of now, we are thinking that we will reopen our buildings on Tuesday. And we're also thinking that we would like to keep the kiosk open for a couple of weeks. At least, people like that option. It would still cut down on how many people actually come into town hall. And if for some reason we do see an uptick in numbers because of school vacation week, it would be good to just get through the next couple of weeks minimizing the amount of people coming into the building and being exposed either to our employees or our employees exposing them. So that stay tuned on that, but that is our plan.
Great. Thank you. Hopefully the numbers stay low. One thing I do want to put on everyone's radar is I actually talked to a member of the Historical Commission today and someone from the Auburn High School that's interested in starting I don't want to say competition, but I guess competition is the best word for it. Some kind of community effort to create a new town flag. The current town flag is really the town seal, just on a white background, and we don't know the history of how that seal was developed. Much to the frustration of Sari Vidic, who has looked into it for quite a while. So that's an idea that's rolling around. Just wanted to put it on everyone's radar that might be coming up at a future meeting. Definitely nothing is set in stone yet. It was just an informational meeting for all of us to explore the idea, but wanted to let everyone know. With that, there's nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
By roll call vote, Mrs. Ruffley,
Yes.
Mr. Wren,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Thank you, everyone. Good night. See you all in person.